All right, and once our login functionality works on the backend, and we have tested it with the Postman, now let's set up everything on the front end. And like I already said a million times, functionality is going to be almost the same. There's just going to be some differences when it comes to the actual URL. Why? Well, because this is a different route. But if you take a look at the code, it will match pretty much everything that we have already in register user. And keep in mind that we already did all the heavy lifting. We set up the state values, we set up the local storage. So this should be a smooth sailing. And as far as the setup, like I said, start with login user begin, blah, 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 set up the imports. And then in the app context, I want to create my login user, and it will also be looking for current user. Why? Because we'll use it in a register. So in this case, I'm checking if member. If it's a member, login user. If it's not, well, we already ran the register user, correct? So let's start working on that. And as a quick side note, I'll try to set up everything on the front end without having these two screens, because I'm noticing that we write so much code in the editor, and at the very end, I show you everything on a big screen anyway. So we might as well have all of this real estate. Now, I might change my mind in a few videos, but for now, we'll do it this way, where we'll write the code. So there's going to be no small screen over here. And then once we're done, we're going to navigate to the big screen, and I'll go over all the steps. Now, the first thing that I want to do is actually close all my tabs and all that. So I want to start from the scratch. We're looking for the source. And first, in the context, in the actions, we want to create those actions, correct? So we want to go with login user begin and blah, 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 blah. So here's what I can do. I can just copy and paste all of them. So let me set up here, copy and paste. And keep in mind that we're only looking to change these values where I have the register. So I'll set up my multiple cursors, and then this is not going to be a register. It's going to be login. That's it. Pretty much done as far as the actions are concerned. And then let's go to reducer first. And then we're looking for login, and then begin, success, and error. So that still stays the same. So let's add here error as well. And I'll copy them just so we can speed this up a little bit. And then in the app context, right after register, I'll copy and paste. And then let's keep on scrolling. So we have clear alert. Okay, all that, a register user. And now let's set up the login user as well. So let's go with const login user. Now that is going to be a thing, since there's going to be a fetch request. And let's just say here current user. So that's the user object that I'm going to be getting. And then in here, let's go with log. And we're looking for current and then user, just so we can clearly see that everything works. Then let's add that function to our value object. And then we want to navigate to the pages, and then more specifically a register. We want to import it. So right after register user, we're going to go with a login user, and let's keep on scrolling, where we have the on submit. We have the current user, and at the moment, we're just logging, correct? So what is the next step? Well, we want to invoke login user, and we want to pass in the current user. Well, let's save this. And now let's navigate to the big screen, and let's test it out. So at the moment, I have the dashboard page. Okay, that's awesome. And I'm actually looking for register. And I'll right away open up everything here. And it looks like I have user. That's why we navigated away. That's not what I wanted. So let me just remove everything. And let me go back to the register. And in here, let's pass in John, gmail.com, and then my password. And then if everything is correct, we should right away see this name, email, and password. And don't worry about this name. Why? Well, because remember, in our controller, what are we looking for? We only care about email and password. Now, if you want, of course, you can remove it from the object and all that. I just find it waste of time since, again, in the controller, we don't care about the name. There's going to be no error if it is empty. And therefore, I'll just pass it as it is. And with this in place, we are done with our login functionality setup on the front end.